Everyone has been through an English class, be it in a foreign country or the United States. English classes seem to be a fundamental part of our global education. They are also considered by many to be one of the most tedious and meticulous subjects in school, especially when analysis is involved. We all have to read some random book written by some random person who died before we were even born, forced to cling to every word of the author like gospel. Finally, after this torture session is mercifully over, we have to analyze it. Now, we have to go back through and cite why the curtains being blue mean that the character is really a block of cheese on the kitchen counter the entire time. Sound familiar? Well, what if I told you that all that reading of classic books and analysis of underlying themes and ideas really made you a better person? I know that many people just ask themselves how some book they read in high school could really have made them any better. I know that a lot of us wanted to simply throw the thing out of the window after having to read all about how the character was too stupid to get anything done. Luckily, I saved you all the trouble. Take that, George Orwell. But in all honesty, reading those books really expanded your mind to new perspectives on the issues and life experiences, vastly improved your ability to understand others' emotions and empathize with them, and of course, showed you some common themes of society, no matter what time and place. It's quite simple, actually. Those perspectives forced you to think about issues that you may have not even known existed or experienced in your life. At that moment, you had to form an opinion, maybe for the first time in your life. You may have even held some of those opinions to this day. English classes can also introduce new perspectives on emotions and allow you to better express your emotions through empathy with certain characters and their problems. Don't believe me? Well, a metadata study published in 2018 compiled the results of 14 studies and found a link between reading literary fiction and an increase in the subject's empathy. When you read classic literature, they become experiences for your mind of reference, increasing the amount of emotions you can use to empathize. Other times, you can experience an entire life through a single story, followed by all of its twists and turns, and coming out of it having a reference point for many events and their related emotions. I put this off until the very end, but here we are. Themes. Those dreaded by every English student when presented with a test on the book you were supposed to read over the summer, but didn't. Themes may seem to be a boring blanket statement about the book, but they can really help to wrap up many complex ideas into general terms, as well as help relate these ideas into a more modern situation. A great example is in 1984. The story revolves around two people trying to rebel against the government through defiant acts. Many of the book's themes can be put into a modern perspective, such as the idea of constant government surveillance that the old man down the street constantly rambles about, and the slow loss of individual rights through apathy and tyranny. These may sound like a fictional dystopia, but some of these themes are really fears commonly accepted in our hectic lives. Many technologies, such as the smart home products and even our smartphones, can be used by governments to obtain data on us. Some governments are striving to control everything their citizens do and think, especially in dictatorships such as North Korea and China. Themes help us to relate and try and understand these terrifying concepts, as well as allow us to express the ideas surrounding the concepts in commonly understood ways. With the tools given to us by English classes and the literature they force us to read, they are really helping us to grow to be the best forms of ourselves we can be. They mold us into the open-minded, empathetic, and expressive people we are today, no matter how much we want to deny that John Steinbeck had any hand in shaping our thoughts and opinions. I mean, even science tells us that reading with classic books are helping us become better at empathizing with others and overall nicer people. So next time you see a piece of classic literature in your local bookstore, or hear your kid complaining about having to read some stupid book by some dead person, just stop and think. That book could be the key to unlocking your mind to a whole new world of life, emotions, and opinions.